double your failure rate. Double your failure rate. Why? It's because, let me put this down. It's because if you look at the life stories of successful men and women, if you look at the life story of a person like Thomas Edison, one of the greatest failures in history. Thomas Edison, in the course of his lifetime, patented 1,052 devices at the U.S. Patent Office. Over 1,000 of those devices were actually turned into commercial products that made enormous amounts of money. Watson, or Edison, was also the greatest failure in the history of invention. He failed 17,000 times to come up with a plant that from which natural latex could be drawn. He failed thousands of times in other experiments. He failed over 11,000 times in his attempt to come up with a filament for the electric light bulb. After he had failed 5,000 times, and it was in the newspaper, it was called Edison's Folly, this attempt to somehow light the world with an incandescent light bulb. Everybody knew the world, people were supposed to light their way through the world with a kerosene lantern. A reporter came to him, a young reporter, said, "Mr. Edison, why do you persist in spending all this time and money after you failed 5,000 times?" And Edison said, "Young man," he said, "you don't understand how the world works." He said, "I haven't failed at all." He said, "I've just successfully discovered 5,000 ways that will not work." He said, "That puts me just 5,000 ways closer to the way that will work." It was over 11,000 experiments before he found the tungsten or the carbon impregnated filament that lit the first electric light bulb and changed the world. Colonel Sanders went to over 1,000 restaurants. A 66-year-old man went to over 1,000 restaurants to try to sell his recipe initially before he found one restaurant that would pay him a 5-cent chicken royalty. But he kept on. Would you keep on after 100, 200, 500, 1,000 people had told you no? Sanders did, and became one of the richest and most well-known and most respected men in America. So you have to understand that success and failure go hand in hand, that wherever there is a possibility for success, there's also the possibility for failure. There is nothing wrong with failing as long as you learn from every lesson. And remember, if you have a certain number of failures that you have to go through in order to learn the lessons and gain the experience in order to achieve your great success, the sooner you do it, the faster you get on with it, the more mistakes you make, the more times you fall on your face and pick yourself up and learn from it, the faster you're going to achieve what you're capable of achieving.